The Kamala Harris campaign relied heavily on celebrity endorsements. It was a major part of her strategy. Now that she's lost, those same celebrities are sharing their reactions. Some sound disappointed, while others seem outright furious. Their responses reveal a lot. Let's start with Cardi B. She was one of the celebrities that endorsed Kamala Harris. At the Milwaukee rally, things didn't go quite as planned. She struggled to read the teleprompter and seemed unprepared. Someone eventually handed her a phone so she could continue. That's when she explained why she backed Harris. Cardi said Harris promised to fix the economy. Specifically, she claimed Harris would target price gouging. That was the reason Cardi B gave for endorsing her. But now that Harris has lost, things feel different. Cardi shared her thoughts online. She spoke her mind in her usual style. This time, she even added a filter to her face, which made her message stand out even more. Let's take a look at what she had to say.
Hey, so listen, I'm gonna let y'all know this right now, okay? So you little trumpets, like, y'all won. I know y'all happy, whatever the fuck. Ain't nobody acting like bitter losers. However, y'all need to leave me the fuck alone. Because I got one more fucking cigarette in me before I start lighting your asses up. Alright? And that's word to the United States of motherfucking America. Yeah, yeah. This is why some of y'all states be getting hurricanes. That's all I'm gonna say.
This is why some of y'all states get hurricanes. That's what Cardi B had to say. But honestly, is now really the time for comments like that? Let's not forget, those hurricanes took hundreds of lives. Families lost everything in an instant. Is this where we want to focus right now? Hurricanes hit the southeastern U.S. hard. Sure, some call it the Trump belt, but when disaster strikes, politics disappear. People of all ages and backgrounds lost their homes. Trees came crashing through roofs. Cars were swept away in floods. Lives were lost in seconds. And through it all, people stepped up. Neighbors risked everything to save each other, no questions asked. They didn't stop to ask about political beliefs. They just acted. Meanwhile, communities were left devastated. Schools, community centers, wildlife, all gone in the blink of an eye. So, hearing, this is why some states get hurricanes right after an endorsement of Kamala Harris didn't land, it feels out of touch. People are hurting. Communities are trying to rebuild. Comments like this don't bring healing. They don't bring us together. Let's keep our focus on what really matters. The people. Billie Eilish just posted a new Instagram story after Donald Trump's win, saying, "It's a war on women." Now let's unpack that for a second. The main argument here seems to be that a woman lost the election. They're also worried about reproductive rights, claiming they'll disappear. But let's be honest, those decisions are now up to individual states. If that's your definition of a war on women, then sure, call it that. But here's the thing. What about the women who voted for Trump? Some demographics turned out in pretty large numbers. Are they part of this so-called war too? Billie Eilish doesn't seem to understand the everyday life of most American women, so it's hard to see how she defines a war. And let's talk about her support for Kamala Harris. Honestly, it was lackluster at best. Compared to other celebrities, her endorsement felt more like an afterthought. Remember when she and Phineas took to TikTok, encouraging people to vote for Kamala? Their expressions were so flat, they practically screamed indifference. If Billie Eilish was excited about a Kamala Harris presidency, she certainly didn't show it. Her message now feels less like genuine outrage and more like jumping on a narrative. So that's Billie Eilish's take. Now let's talk about Jack Antonoff. You might know him as a singer, songwriter, and producer. He's worked with big names like Taylor Swift, Lana Del Rey, and Lorde. Basically, he's everywhere in the music world. He's also married to Margaret Qualley, the actress who recently starred in The Substance. You've probably seen her work. She's really made a name for herself. Now, here's what Jack had to say. "To my people, we turn to each other at the best of times as we do at the worst times. Our community is alive because we lift and take care of each other. We are not moved bullshit. When we're afraid, we lean on each other. Right now, we are going to do exactly that. We are going to be there for each other. Do not be cynical. Do not have the conversation alone in your head. Go be together. Be around those who do not assume the worst of you. Fight for the rights of oppressed people. Respect the earth and its creatures. Live with the most dignity and remember that every tiny thing is carried on. As always, the Ally Coalition's work does not rest. As always, our people do not rest, and no greater strength and joy than those who put others down. Isn't it fascinating? Jack says, be around those who don't assume the worst of you. Then, right after, he assumes the absolute worst about everyone who voted for Donald Trump. It's the same old pattern. They accuse others of being racist, but their accusations end up sounding pretty racist themselves. They call it a war on women, but in doing so, they dismiss and insult the millions of women who chose to vote for Trump. And here's the kicker. They talk about surrounding yourself with understanding people, yet they're quick to assume the worst about anyone who doesn't agree with them. Jack Antonoff? He's just another example of how they contradict themselves over and over again. Next, we have LeBron James. He says with Donald Trump winning, he'll need to protect his daughter. But here's the thing. The Democratic Party he endorsed has no problem with men competing in women's sports. They can't even define what a woman is. If anything, women would need even more protection if Kamala Harris had won the presidency. So, what does LeBron mean by protect his daughter? It sounds like another abortion narrative, just like the ones we've been hearing from so many other celebrities. They're all worried about protecting their daughters, specifically about pregnancy and abortion. Christina Applegate shared this. Why? Give me your reasons why my child is sobbing because her right as a woman may be taken away. Why? And if you disagree, please unfollow me. That post received 194,000 likes. Let's pause for a second. Her daughter is 13 years old. A 13-year-old sobbing because she believes her rights as a woman are being stripped away? What are you telling your 13-year-old that's causing this level of distress over election results? At that age, kids shouldn't have to carry this kind of emotional weight. Parents are supposed to shield their kids from unnecessary stress, especially when it's not a concern they should be focusing on. And let's be real, most states aren't even changing their abortion laws in any dramatic way. If this were to ever become a concern for her, she'd be fine. So why put your child through this kind of hysteria, especially over something like Trump becoming president? It's completely unnecessary. Here's the list of people who say they're leaving the country because of Trump's win. Alec Baldwin, Whoopi Goldberg, John Legend, Chrissy Teigen, Rob Reiner, Barbara Streisand, Cher, Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton, Megan Rapinoe, Tom Hanks, Amy Schumer, AOC, Lady Gaga, Taylor Swift, Bill Gates, Jane Fonda, Madonna, Mark Ruffalo, Kim Kardashian, Bruce Springsteen, George Clooney, Hunter Biden, Oprah, Robert De Niro, Samuel L. Jackson, Miley Cyrus, Travis Kelce, Bobby Aleph, Rashida Tlaib, Stormy Daniels, Dr. Anthony Fauci, George Soros, Diddy, Eminem, Ellen DeGeneres, Sean Penn, Sharon Stone, Ashley Judd, Tommy Lee, Bryan Cranston, Billy Joe Armstrong. So, are they actually packing their bags? Let's be real. I doubt it. This is what they do every election cycle. They say things like, if the fascist wins, I'm leaving. I can't live here anymore. I can't support this country. And then, nothing. They're still here every single time.